Please try and sit still. Um, there's still a class going on, and if people are moving, and it disrupts the whole energy of the meditation. Does anyone have a question?
Stuart, Rudy talks about tuning in and finding the ripeness, the sweetness inside, versus tuning in to the tensions and opening more to the tension, but opening to the sweetness. Could you talk about opening to that sweetness inside?
Well, look, I talk about this yesterday when I gave a talk. What I spoke about was that the end goal of this meditation is living with an open heart, living with love, living with sweetness, living with joy, being a happy person. That is the end goal of this. Happy people are enlightened people. Happy people are sweet people. They have found that sweetness inside themselves. So when Rudy is talking, this is basically what he's talking about. The development of the heart chakra, opening and understanding that we're doing all of this inner work and we're building a chakra system that's very strong inside for the singular purpose. God is love. And in order to sustain, the experience of God is love, we have to have a strength that is extraordinary. Can't be just innocence. It certainly can't. Please try and sit still. Hello? Try and sit still. It can't be naivety. It can't be, that type of energy. It has to be sweetness that emanates from fire. The fire is, the chakra system developing. It's the Kundalini force. It's the chi inside us. And out of that power comes an open heart. I mean, look, one of the best symbols of this is just incense, You have to set fire to it, and then you have sandalwood, whatever the rosewood, you have that delicious smell. Well, we are the same way. And what we're burning inside ourselves is just tension. And as we continue to burn that tension inside ourselves, it transforms itself into love, into joy, into security, to be able to live with love and joy, to not be afraid that it's going to be ripped away from you because you have the strength inside to sustain it. I mean, honestly, that is the goal of all of this. It's not just to sit here and feel a lot of strong Shakti and energy, but it's to use it in a practical way so that it develops the kind of system I'm talking about, but the ultimate goal is love, joy, sweetness, being a happy person, living in a very difficult world. I hope that's clear, because it's such a great opportunity to build that. And that's not something that, look, if that was the natural way that people live, this world would be a lot different. It'd be a lot different. It's something that each human being has to develop in himself. And most people live in a world where they project outside themselves that something's going to take place that's going to make them happy. Something will take place that will turn them on. Money, relationship, this, getting a new pair of shoes, but it fades quickly into the past unless we develop the kind of system inside that can sustain it. And that is really what this meditation is about. developing that kind of an inner life. Does anyone else have a question you would like to ask?
Thank you.
You're welcome, Wendy. Great question. Paula, you don't have a question?
Of course I do. Stuart, can you talk about, so I'm thinking about the heat sometimes, the really strong heat that comes up in the meditation, and you say that's karma being burned. And so then it makes me wonder about like old souls versus if you have a lot of karma, does that mean like you just, can you talk about that? Like old souls versus new souls versus karma?
Nothing is versus anything else. You know, old souls are not versus new souls. Karma is not versus anything. Karma is just, you know, the life we live is our karma. And I'll get back to it again, as we build a strong inner life, our karma changes. Understand, we are capable of living in an open way. We are capable of, you know, having joy in our hearts and love, and the karma changes. We begin to attract different kinds of people, different types of energy. We begin to see the world differently. The karma of a human being changes. And as far as old souls and new souls, you know, look, I really don't, you know, look, whatever you're old or new soul, you still have tension. Well, I'll tell you an interesting story, okay? Many years ago in Texas, I had a student whose sister had, it was, you know, cerebral palsy. And she came to live at the ashram for about a month. And I used to do a healing work with her every day, just about every day. And it used to drive me crazy. I couldn't understand, how could somebody so pure and so beautiful inside herself be stricken with a problem of this nature? And one class, after about a week or two of doing this work with her, I began to see that this woman, she was about 30 years old at the time, you know, was a new soul. It was her first incarnation. And the shock of being born created the condition that she had to live with all her life. And it was amazing. And I tried to go deeper and find what she did in her, I couldn't find a past life. You know, it was a new soul, and the mother was there too, and she was so guilty, and it was all her fault. And I had to explain to her, I said, this is not your fault. This is your daughter's first incarnation. And the shock of coming into this kind of world is what created the condition. Now, take this to medical science and they'll tell me I'm a lunatic, you know? But it was so real what I saw. And the, you know, the evolution of this person inside herself, that it really gave me a very profound insight into this whole thing of old souls, new souls, and, you know, that's why you can't blame, you know, all these people that chase money and greed and all these politicians. These are new souls. You understand? They are so trapped in Maya, and the glitter of Maya is so strong. You understand? They don't have the capacity to get past it. I mean, Donald Trump, I see him, he looks like a new soul to me, you know? I mean, crippled inside by life. So whether you're an old soul or a new soul, you're going to have something to deal with. And the whole purpose of the meditation is, you know, to transform whatever your condition is into a spiritual life. And sometimes we have to be born again and again and again. And we got to beat our heads against the wall 1,000 times before we realized we're only here to learn to be happy people.
Thank you, Stuart.
You're welcome. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask?
Stuart, you spoke about finding, not being able to find any past lives. Could you speak about what that was like, please? To not find it like.
It was almost like Darwinian, you know?
Mm-hmm.
To see this person. I mean, I began to see visions of, you know, 1-cell creatures, 10-cell, emanating a fish coming out of water. I mean, it was unbelievable, you know? And then I said, Stuart, this person is their first incarnation as a human being. I mean, it was just something staggering to me to see all that. I mean, this is a long time ago, you know, so I don't remember exactly what I saw, but it had to do with the evolution of her soul and having come to this earth for the first time as a human being. I mean, this took place, I think, 1976, 77, like that. It's a long time ago.
Do you have anything to say about all of these people coming in with autism and various issues?
Look, I'm not an expert on that. I mean, I don't know. I'm not an expert on that. I mean, whatever it is, it's the karma of the person that they have to live with. And maybe they're new souls. I don't know, you know, coming and having, I don't know. I can't answer that. I don't have enough experience with that to give you an answer to that. All I know is whatever your condition is, it's your karma. And some people, their condition is pretty difficult and they don't have the tools to work out that karma, so they have to live it out in this lifetime as best they can. And then in their next lifetime, there's a new incarnation.
Thank you.
So I just don't, you know, I can't answer that. It's not my expertise. And, you know, there's so many different conditions that people have. You can't have, you know, expertise in everything. And
yeah, many of them seem very advanced.
Very smart, yes.
Yes, extremely smart.
Very smart, but
yeah.
socially inept. They have a very difficult time dealing with the tension and the, you know, problems that go on the planet Earth. So I don't know. It's a, you know, I don't know. Are they first time, 50th time? Well, I don't know. Is it a product of the chemicals and all the crap in the food and, you know, and the atmosphere and the way people have to live? Do people get that condition when they're very young because of all that? I don't know, you know? There could be so many answers to that question.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I mean, look, I do believe something very profound. Global warming, I'm not a politician, okay? This whole COVID thing, and if you'll pardon my Bronxese, this is the human race fucking with the earth. And this is what is coming back to us. You know, these pandemics, it's, you know, global warming, all this stuff that's going on today. It's really people having taken up, you know, you know, having taken so much out of this planet and giving nothing back. So here, have a pandemic. Nature's have a pandemic. And there's this woman, you know, she hangs out with chimpanzees in Africa. I forgot her name, but I read an article by her, and she said the exact same thing that I just said. It's the earth responding to what people have done to it. Global warming, pandemics, all this stuff is going on today. Now, if people live with open hearts, they don't treat the world that way. You know, I mean, they get past greed in this profoundest sense, you know, of really tearing the earth apart in order to make money, you know? But look, this is not my field, you know. I have, you know, I read about these things and I get inspirations about them and why they, but this is really not my field. My field is helping people to build systems inside that are strong enough to be able to reach that goal of truly living here like happy people. This is what I do. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? And I know people here who have much more experience with autism than I do, you know? They have children who are autistic, and I can't speak for them. They could probably speak better than I can on the subject. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Okay, you know, look, God bless you all. I don't know what to say. I say the same thing at the end of every class, and I really mean it. This is extraordinary, and it's growing, and I can't tell you the gratitude to see 39 people show up here tonight, you know, and everyone, it's not like your first class. People are coming back. So in my heart of hearts, I'm grateful that this is working. And I'm grateful because my job in life is to give away everything I've learned. That's my job. I want to train people. I hope some of you will become teachers of this, and you can pass it on to another generation of people. So this amazing work that Rudy left in the world can continue, you know? So God bless you all. And I'm very grateful for what goes on here. Thank you. There'll be a class tomorrow evening. So bless you. Thank you.
Bless you. Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Stuart. Good night.
Yeah.
Welcome. Good night.